UK was a brave adventurer who was treated like trash by his party until he got fed up and quit. However, everything changes when he becomes the leader of a party full of his former students, who are all baddies who want him to crack them instead of the monsters. The story begins with UK suddenly declaring that he is leaving his current party for good. Simon, the head of the group, asks why he's leaving, so he says it's because he's being cheated in his payments. Hearing this, his teammates tell him to be grateful for the scraps he is getting, and that he should make a meaningful contribution to the party if he wants reasonable pay. Annoyed, UK claims he renders more support to the party than any of them, but Simon shuts him up, saying that no elite A-rank party like theirs would even hire him for free. With that, UK has had enough and decides to finalize his decision to quit the party, but the members just tell him to come crawling back when reality hits him. The following day, UK heads to the Adventurers Guild where he meets Mamar, the heavily milked receptionist, to request for open jobs. While he's filling out his application, a red-haired chick named Marina suddenly hugs him and introduces herself as one of his students from the Adventurer preliminary training days. Curious, she asks why he's at the guild and learns that he's looking to join a party. Immediately, she requests that he join her party named Clover, and he agrees. Later on, while Yuki meets with Silk and Rain, Mamar's teammates, Silk worries that Yuki joining them may affect his rank since they are just a starting D-rank party, but he assures them he is cool with that. The ladies then agree to let him into their party, which leaves him relieved because it's been a while since he has felt wanted. After the meeting, they visit an abandoned mine dungeon to gather magic iron ore for their first quest together. As they walk through the dungeon, they suddenly encounter giant purple monkeys named Boggles, so UK casts a spell to strengthen Marina since she is the party's swordsman and another spell on Boggles to weaken them, thereby giving Marina the chance to take them out. After the fight, a surprised Marina wonders what just happened, so UK brags that he cast 3 different kinds of spells to strengthen her. Immediately, Rain sings his praises because it's nearly impossible to cast 3 spells at once, but he just tells them to continue the mission while the others stare at him like he has grown 3 heads. Getting to the next floor in the dungeon, dead miners suddenly approach them to turn them to lunch, so UK charges up himself and the ladies with spells to boost their powers. With UK's boost, the ladies easily wipe out the miners, after which they thank UK for helping them. UK tells them not to sweat it and refreshes Rain's mana like it's just a casual Tuesday. However, Rain is stunned by this, as she yaps on about how incredibly rare it is to cast mana restoration spells, which causes UK to tell her to stop making him feel shy. Moments later, they encounter a rock lizard living in a spot filled with magic iron ores. UK casts a spell to slow down the lizard, thereby giving Marina the chance to summon her magic blade and slice the lizard's head with it. They then gather the magic ores in the spot, only to realize that they still need more to complete the quest, so UK suggests they head to the top floor of the dungeon for more ores. The ladies quickly express their fears because of the rumor about the top floor housing a dangerous monster known as the Steel Crab. But UK assures them that they have nothing to fear because he is going to protect them. Getting to the entrance of the top floor, UK offers to go in alone and releases a recording artifact known as Camrat to record the battle. Marina suggests they livestream the fight so the whole kingdom can see him in action. UK then charges himself with his spells, tells Camrat to start recording, and heads to the top floor. Inside, he casts 5 different spells on the Steel Crab all at once before ending it with his gravity spell. After the fight, the ladies stare in bewilderment because none of them have seen someone cast so many high-level spells effortlessly, making them realize that UK is far more extraordinary than they ever imagined. On the way back from the dungeon, UK asks the ladies for reviews on his exploits, and they all give him a 5-star review. Silk also suggests they make him their party leader, which leaves him shocked, so he asks for the reason behind such a crazy suggestion. Silk replies that since he used to be their teacher, they could learn a thing or two from him. Still, he tries to talk himself out of it, but they refuse, so he agrees to be their leader, thereby leaving the ladies elated. In the meantime, Thunderpike fights wolves in a different dungeon as part of their quest. While at it, one of the wolves suddenly turns Jamie, another member of the group, into its chew toy, thereby alerting Simon. Immediately, Simon slices the wolf to save Jamie and tells Camilla to heal Jamie, only for Camilla to say she is out of mana. After the fight with the wolves, Simon asks Camilla if she has any mana potions she can use to heal Jamie, but Camilla replies that UK used to supply her the mana potions she uses. Frustrated, Simon turns to Cork, their newest member, to ask for his healing potions, so Cork grumpily gives him his personal potion, adding that he thought every member of the group was responsible for themselves. Shortly after, Thunderpike settles in the kingdom's restaurant, where Simon complains about how bad his party has become and blames Cork for being selfish. Cork replies that the wolves have always been known to attract scents, so they were supposed to use beast repellent before entering the dungeon. However, Simon claims that Cork should have prepared the repellents for the group, which leaves Cork stunned, and he immediately quits because he cannot believe they want to turn him into their glorified errand guy. The sound of Cork's voice soon attracts UK, who is elsewhere in the restaurant with the Clover members, and he wonders what is going on. However, the ladies' discussion of what to do next soon distracts UK, and he tells them he will go to the market to get some stuff, with the money they got from completing the quest. After that, they see through the restaurant's television that Yuka's solo match has gotten a lot of views, leaving them elated. Thunder Pike also sees the match from where they are sitting, and they mock UK for trying to be a low-budget Mr. Beast. 2 days later, Yuka checks out a new quest Clover can take on at the Adventurers Guild, only to be interrupted by Maymar, who wants to know what he is up to. After explaining himself, Maymar suggests a C-rank quest involving conquering a large magical beast that they can do. UK then starts thinking if the ladies can be up to the task, only to be interrupted by the ladies walking in. Immediately, UK tries to explain the quest to Marina, but she agrees to do it before UK can even finish his explanation. Silk and Rain also agree to do it since it's UK's suggestion, so Maymar tells them she's going to process their acceptance of the quest. A few hours later, Yuka and the ladies head out for the quest, and he explains that they will need to live stream the quest, so the video will capture the beast in case it escapes. Instead of worrying about the quest, the ladies begin fixing their clothes and hair because they want to look snatched in their streaming debut. Getting to the forest, UK releases Camrat to start recording and tells the ladies to be careful. They then walk inside the forest until they reach a waterfall, where a high-ranked monster named Zarnig comes out of its hiding. Seeing this, Yuka points out that it is abnormal for such a monster to appear in that part of the forest, so he tells the others to retreat while he faces it alone. However, the ladies insist on joining the fight, so he has no option but to agree. He then casts a spell to enhance their skills. After that, Marina starts to distract Zarnag while UK summons a high-grade magic to take out the mighty beast. UK casts the spell on Zarnag, and Zarnag starts to feel unconscious. Rain quickly uses the chance to summon a high-grade Thunderbolt spell to bring it down. However, UK sees Zarnag resisting the spell, so he instructs Marina to slice Zarnag's head. Marina complies, and due to this, Zarnag's head pops off like a champagne cock, spraying a majestic, red-dyed fountain from its neck, thereby leaving them relieved. The battle soon goes viral in the kingdom, leaving the people in awe and making Simon feel jealous. Meanwhile, the ladies lash out at UK for trying to act as a savior by sacrificing himself earlier, so he apologizes even though he feels that was the best thing to do then. A few days later, they all wait at the guild master's office on the master's request, and UK assures them that the master probably wants to praise them for taking out Zarnag. Just then, Benwood the master makes his presence known and asks for more intel on Zarnag. UK replies that he believes an overflow that needs to be investigated is happening in the kingdom, so Maymar, who is with Benwood, offers to put out an emergency investigation on the matter. Confused, Marina asks UK for the meaning of overflow, so UK explains that it's when catalysts cause monsters to leave their dungeons. Benwood assures them he will look into the cause and apologizes for exposing them to face a monster like Zarnag. The ladies quickly tell Benwood that it is fine because UK protected them, but Benwood insists that the stream he saw of them prove that they are also capable of handling themselves. On that note, he promotes them to C-rank adventurers, which leaves the ladies elated. UK quickly confirms from Benwood that he is not joking, only to learn that he has also been promoted to an A-rank adventurer. After that, they return to the inn to celebrate their promotion and count the money Benwood gave them as a reward. After counting the coins, Silk announces that the money will be enough for them to get their own house, which leaves them happy. A few hours later, Rain asks UK for his dream because she wants them to help him achieve it. UK replies that his dream is to reach the deepest floor of a dungeon named Achromatic Darkness, which is also known for having an abyss gate. Rain confirms that the gate is a passage to the underworld and asks why he wants to see it. UK replies that he would love to see the edge of the world himself, and since a respectable uncle of his once visited the scary dungeon, he would also love to do so. Marina offers that they go there and livestream it, but UK tells her to hold her horses because they will need permission from the government and also be an A-rank party. The ladies then agree to work hard to become A-rank adventurers to help him achieve his dream. Feeling honored, UK offers to help them become A-rank adventurers so they can all visit the Abyss Gate one day. A month later, Simon angrily laments to the rest of Thunder Pike about how UK and his fan club are becoming the main characters of the kingdom. He also worries that their party is deteriorating with how new members refuse to join them. Barry suggests they ask UK to return to them and give him a little pay rise to make him happy, so Simon offers to persuade UK. A few hours later, Simon stops UK on his way to the guild with the ladies for a brief discussion. UK asks the ladies to step out, and they comply, passing Simon with eye lasers locked on high beam and murder very much on their minds. After they leave, Simon tells UK to return to his party, adding that he will help him fulfill the dream he always talked about since they were youngsters. UK strongly refuses, stating that all Simon has done is to disrespect him before walking out on Simon, thereby leaving Simon enraged. The following week, the ladies learn from UK that a workshop is willing to sponsor them for their next quest because the workshop wishes to venture into clothing for female adventurers, and they would love to make them their muse. Hearing this pleases the girls, so they accept the offer immediately. A few hours later, the ladies pull up to a new town in their new wares for the next quest, thereby leaving UK stunned at how pretty they look. He then gushes over how cute they look like a proud pageant mom. but Rain remains unimpressed because she does not feel his praise is genuine. Inside the dungeon, Yuki explains that the quest's objective is to reach the deepest part of the dungeon. As he continues explaining how they can get there, he notices that Rain is ignoring him, so he asks her what he did wrong. The others explain that it is probably because he did not say anything about her outfit, so he quickly compliments Rain's hair ribbon, and Rain hugs him in response, thereby startling him. They then continue their journey until they encounter monsters named orcs. Immediately, Silk tries to shoot at them, but Yuki persuades her to calm down because he knows Silk's kind are not cool with orcs. He then gives them instructions on how to eliminate the orcs, and they all work together to defeat the orcs. After the fight, Yuki asks Silk if she is good. Silk replies that she is and apologizes for her previous outburst, but Yuki assures her that it is fine. Surprised, Silk questions why Yuki is cool with her even though she is a member of Dark Elves known for betraying the elves, so Yuki assures her that he is just Silk to him and he feels the whole story is superstitious anyway, which leaves Silk relieved. They then continue walking into the deepest part of the dungeon until Ma Rena suddenly notices a monster known as the Shadow Stalker from afar and alerts the others. Right on cue, the monster approaches them, thereby causing Yuki to reveal his scroll of multiple spells to power up all of them as they prepare for combat. However, the monster summons a spell that causes Ma Rena to lose her balance, and seeing this surprises Yuki because the spell he cast was nearly impossible to break through. Rain rushes to heal Ma Rena, while Silk and Yuki decide to face the monster themselves. The monster just smirks at them in response before summoning a spell to stop them. Yuki breaks through its spell and rushes to slice it from behind, but the monster notices him and quickly casts a dark spell on him. Due to this, Yuki falls to the ground, thereby causing Silk to summon her dryads to attack the monster. Rain also goes to heal Yuki, just in time for a recovered Ma Rena to assist Silk in taking out the monster. Rain soon joins her friends by casting a wide-range spell to attack the monster, but the monster escapes their spells and slices them in a flash before releasing dark spells on them. Just in time, a recovered Yuki uses the scroll of light shield to protect them, thereby leaving the ladies excited. Blinded by rage because the monster tried to eliminate the ladies, Yuki summons all the spells he can think of to hold the monster still. Silk then summons her dryad to ambush the monster just in time for Ma Rena to slice through it, and Rain summons a spell to turn the monster into an undead. After the fight, Rain tells Yuki that the mana she sensed from the monster prove that it is not supposed to exist, so it may be an overflow. Yuki then suggests they finish the quest and report to the town's adventurers guild about their findings afterwards. Back in the kingdom, Thunder Pike hang out in an underground waterway where Barry starts ranting about how Yuki always made sure they were provided with adequate food. Simon tells him to stop crying over spilled milk and get ready for their next quest, which is to take on Bubbles. Simon then tells Jamie to set up their camera for livestream, and as Jamie complies, Barry tells her to make herself useful and hurry up. When Jamie is done, she tells the others, and they all head out while she sighs in relief. After their quest, Mummer tells them that they failed woefully and may get demoted if they keep failing. Annoyed, Simon blames Mamar for not introducing new members to his party, but Mamar just tells him to fix his stinky attitude. Frustrated, they all settle down at the bar to lament their ordeal. Barry asks Simon for the update on getting Yuki back, and Simon replies that the only way to get Yuki interested is for them to visit the achromatic darkness. He then suggests that they team up with other parties for a joint quest to pretend to take on the deadly dungeon. And impressed Barry loves the suggestion while Jamie just shakes her head at their stupidity. 2 days later, Yuki tells the ladies, as they go apartment hunting, that the dungeon they visited has been closed for proper investigation. Shortly after, they arrive at a new apartment to check it out, and the ladies love it, so Yuki tells Monday, the house agent, that they want it. Later in the day, they move their stuff into the apartment, and after they are done with setting up the apartment, they settle down for dinner, and Yuki unveils a new television they can watch while they eat. Impressed, they thank Yuki for his thoughtfulness and share a toast. After that, they see on television that the kingdom has granted permission to investigate achromatic darkness, and Thunder Pike will lead the investigation. Seeing this, the ladies turn to Yuki to see how he feels about the news, and Yuki replies that they can check at any time, so it is not a battle of who got there first. Just then, they suddenly receive a mailbird from the guild, so the following morning, Yuki and Rain visit Mamar to ask what's up. Mamar lets them know that Thunder Pike requests that Yuki join their party so he can accompany them to achromatic darkness, but he respectfully declines. A few hours later, an angry Simon approaches Yuki to ask why he rejected their offer, but Yuki just wishes him the best of luck as he embarks into the dungeon and insists that he will not be joining them. Furious, Simon confesses that he requested the investigation into the dungeon just for Yuki's sake. Yuki counters that all Simon has ever done for him is to make him his party's errand guy, and he would rather count sand than return to such a miserable life. Still, Simon pleads with Yuki to join him so he can make it up to him, but Yuki refuses, maintaining that he is now a member of Clover before taking his leave. 2 weeks later, Benwood tells Yuki that the monsters are approaching more kingdoms, And the main reason why the government agreed to the achromatic darkness investigation is that they want to see if they can get any information that will help them understand the overflow. He then adds that he would love to submit a bid for Clover to join the dungeon's investigation. UK quickly states that it is dangerous because Clover is still C-ranked, and besides, A-ranked parties are already conducting the investigation. Benwood replies that calling their current effort terrible is actually being generous, before insisting that he needs someone like him for the job and hands him the powerful scroll of exit to entice him. Just then, Mamar walks in to hand UK an official request from the king insisting that he investigate and make a report on achromatic darkness, so UK promises to tell the others about it. Getting home, he tells the others about what went down with Benwood and how he feels they are not professionally ready to tackle achromatic darkness. However, the ladies convince him to let them give it a try anyway since it will add to their experience, so they all decide to take on the challenge. With that, they visit Benwood to tell him they will take the mission, but UK points out that they will need a new member to join them to improve their chances. Just then, Mamar introduces a cat chick named Nene to them as their new member. Nene also introduces herself as a C-ranked retired thief who is willing to better her life and promises to be useful to their cause. Shortly after, they all arrive at the achromatic darkness, and the ladies waste no time in expressing their surprise at how the dungeon's entrance is underneath the Adventurers Guild. Mamar explains that the guild was actually built on top of the dungeon to seal the dungeon's entrance. After that, UK and the ladies prepare to enter the dungeon, and UK tells Kamrat to begin the live stream. The people of the kingdom then watch UK announce that his party would be investigating achromatic darkness and ask them to wish them luck. With that, they enter the dungeon. Inside, Nene offers to scout the area for enemies while the other ladies ask UK how he feels now that he is in the dungeon. UK replies that he feels pretty chilled about it. Soon after, Nene returns to tell the others that she has found a confirmed route they can pass. They then continue to follow the route, bearing in mind that their only objective is to find out if there's anything odd in the dungeon. Nene soon points out that there is a monster on the way, and as they take a look at the weird beast, they realize that they have seen nothing like it before. With that, they all get into their respective fighting position and attack the beast. The beast falls to its death after being unable to resist their multiple attacks. Moments later, they encounter a chest on the way, and Nene picks its lock to check its contents. After she is done, she opens it to reveal jewels that leave everyone stunned. Immediately, UK instructs Silk to keep the jewels in her magic bag, and she complies. While at it, UK finds a valuable ring and a strange box at the bottom of the chest, causing them to wonder what the story may be behind them. UK concludes that they report the box to Benwood and places the ring on Rain's finger in a bridal style because he feels the ring fits her finger perfectly, which leaves Rain flushed. After that, they return to the guild to call it a day, only for them to be stopped by Thunder Pike. Annoyed, UK asks what they want while Rain quickly briefs Nene that they are UK's former party. Simon replies that UK could have just accepted their request if he knew he was going to eventually come, but UK counters that he and his party are on a formal mission after receiving the king's request. Still, Simon suggests UK hand over all the data he has found to him so they can ally, but UK strongly refuses. Unknown to Simon, UK's livestream is still on, and the people of the kingdom can see what is going on. Simon continues to persuade UK to hand over his data, and an angry Silk tells Simon to go piss off his grandma instead. Immediately, Barry and Camilla remind Silk that she is a dark elf, so she should know her place. Simon also joins in shading Silk, and this makes UK angry, so he tells them to shut up if they don't want to be turned into kebabs. UK then makes it known that he would never work with them, which leaves Simon disappointed. 2 days later, Benwood tells Thunder Pike that different organizations saw the stunt they pulled on the livestream and they are not happy with them. Simon tries to defend his party by stating that a C-ranked party like UK's isn't supposed to disrespect them in the first place. Benwood punches him to the nearest table in response and reminds him that an A-ranked adventurer like him was caught making derogatory comments on livestream, so the least he can do is to be remorseful. He then grabs Simon by the neck and tells him that his party must conduct an apology stream, and if care is not taken, he may be stripped of his adventurer title. The following day, Maurina lets UK know that she has figured out the magic box, but she will need his alchemist power to make it work. UK agrees to help her, and they hold the box together as he starts to think of memories of Maurina. Immediately, the box transforms into a sword, which leaves Maurina impressed. Shortly after, UK and the others return to the dungeon to begin another round of investigation. While at it, they suddenly reach an open field, so UK advises them to remain calm while he searches for his telescope, only to realize that he didn't bring it. Rain then offers to use her telescope eyes, so he places her on his shoulders and she takes a look at the environment. While at it, she points out that she can find a house, so they all head there. Getting to the house, UK wonders if it is safe to enter it or if the dungeon is just playing tricks on them. Just then, an old lady comes out of the house to welcome them and offer them tea. Surprised, they all ask who she may be, but she just tells them to enter the house, promising to give them the whole gist inside. UK apologizes to her because they will not be accepting her offer, only for the house to suddenly transform into a pro version of itself, leaving them scared. To make matters worse, the lady transforms into Persephone, a hot chick, who tells UK that he should thank his stars for not entering the house because it was a trap. UK quickly recognizes Persephone as the immortal ruler, and Persephone confirms her identity, adding that she has been bored alone in the dungeon, so she is glad they are joining her. Immediately, Yuka pleads for their release, promising to return to her once he is dead, so she places a curse on him as a symbol of remembrance. Though the effect makes him sick, he tells them to leave, so they start to run out of the crazy field. Returning to the dungeon, the ladies show him the mark on his face. Realizing that it is a result of Persephone's curse, he assures them that he will visit the temple when they return home to see if the sign can be removed. They then decide to rest in the dungeon before continuing their mission, but a few minutes later, UK wakes up to see he has been tied like a Christmas turkey by Simon. Simon then shows him that he also got the ladies tied up thanks to his other members, even though Jamie feels guilty about it. Camilla confirms that they cast a sleeping spell on them, and Barry shows him the slave collar he placed on Rain's neck. Annoyed, UK asks them what they are trying to achieve, but Simon replies that either way they are doomed, so it's better they don't go down alone. Simon then shows Yuka an official letter stating that Clover and Thunder Pike allied to sign. Simon also adds that the letter states that everything that happened was Clover's fault, so Thunder Pike is not responsible. Yuka feels the letter is absurd, but Simon just manhandles him in response and threatens to turn Rain into Barry's slave. After he is done with UK, he turns to Barry to discuss how they will get Rain to eliminate Silk, so UK quickly agrees to sign it. Just as he is about to sign, an earthquake suddenly occurs in the dungeon, thereby causing Barry, Camilla, and UK to crash underground. UK quickly rushes to wake the ladies, only for the ground underneath them to collapse. Jamie quickly casts a spell to prevent UK and the ladies from crashing, so they land safely underground. UK thanks Jamie, but she just smiles in response. However, a bruised Simon accuses Jamie of being a traitor, only for orcs to corner all of them. Jamie quickly hands UK the magic bag Simon stole from them, so UK pulls out his scroll of sanctuary to stop the orcs. Jamie also casts a spell to wake the ladies. Seeing that they are awake, UK brings out the scroll of exit so they can stand on its spell. He then tells Jamie to bring Simon and the others to stand on the spell, but Jamie feels it is unfair to do so after all they've done to him. Suddenly, Simon abducts Rain in exchange for his safe return, but Jamie hits Simon and tells Rain to save herself. Rain complies, and even though Yuka begs Jamie to follow them, she refuses, and they end up leaving without her. Disappointed that he has been left alone, Simon turns to his last resort, which is to inject himself with a dark spell, while Jamie sighs in relief. When they return, Yuki and the ladies watch a video of Jamie apologizing for the times Yuki was treated like trash in Thunder Pike and how she has always been envious of Clover because they treat each other like family. After they are done with the video, Yuki expresses his displeasure over the fact that they failed to save Jamie even though she helped them. Rain tells him not to beat himself up for it because it was a tight situation. Benwood interrupts them to let them know they've received a distress signal from the dungeon, so they all listen to it and confirm that it is from Jamie. Immediately, UK volunteers to help her, and even though Benwood feels it is reckless since he is still recovering, he insists on going. After Benwood leaves, the ladies offer to follow UK back to the dungeon because they also feel indebted to Jamie. Noticing the collar on Rain's neck, UK casts a spell to release the collar. Rain points out that the spell sounds unfamiliar, and UK replies that Persephone's curse probably equipped him with upgraded spells, so Persephone must have liked him. A few hours later, they gather their armors and weapons together in preparation for their return to the dungeon, but UK worries that they still need a scroll of exit. Just then, they hear a knock on the door, and UK goes to get it only to meet Lucent, a literal walking god and A-rank adventurer who wants to give him a scroll of exit. However, Lucent asks why UK is going to the achromatic darkness since he heard about it from Benwood, and UK replies that he would love to save a friend. With that, Lucent hands him the scroll before taking his leave. After Lucent's departure, Nana explains that half of Lucent's party was once wiped out in a dungeon, so UK wonders if that is why he chose to help them. Shortly after, UK and the ladies arrive at the dungeon's entrance, and even though Benwood doesn't want them to go, UK refuses to budge, so Benwood sighs and gives them the go-ahead. With that, they head into the dungeon. Inside, they fight off every monster they encounter on the way until they reach an abandoned city. Nene notices a blood trail on the floor, so they follow it, convinced it may be Jamie's blood. When they eventually find Jamie, Simon blocks their view. Seeing Simon surprises them because they thought he should be dead, but seeing him look like a shadow stalker, Yuka believes he must have turned himself into an undead. Simon then attacks them, but Ma-Rina decides to take it upon herself to finish Simon off. As they continue to fight, the others notice that Simon's body regenerates after being hit, and he confirms that he is now an immortal. After that, he casts a spell on UK and the others, but UK blocks it with his scroll of light shield. Yuka then attacks Simon, and after fighting for hours, Yuka casts a powerful spell on Simon that causes him to internally explode into an amoeba. Ma-Rina asks why UK did not just finish him off, and he replies that he can't do much since he is now immortal, so he had no option but to settle for the spell. Rain then heals Jamie's wound, only for UK to realize that the wound is not healing. So he places Jamie's hand on the mark on his face, casts a spell that he hopes works out, and the wound heals instantly. Shortly after, shadow stalkers approach a terrified Simon to attack him while the others watch him. UK confirms that Simon is going to be stuck in the dungeon forever before summoning the scroll of exit. A week later, Benwood tells Yuka that he will be suspending Clover for a month because the king found out that they visited the dungeon without permission. Benwood also tells Jamie that she will be stripped of her qualification as an adventurer for a year. Jamie feels the punishment is lenient since she was a member of Thunder Pike, but she still thanks him for his generosity. The following week, UK meets with Mamar at the guild to tell her that he would love to make Nene a permanent member of Clover. Mamar offers to prepare the paperwork to that effect, only for her to open the door and see Nene falling because she has been eavesdropping on their conversation. Nene quickly states that she is there because Silk wanted her to pass a message to UK, and when UK asks if she would love to join Clover, she happily expresses her interest. After that, she hands him a letter from Silk, so he reads it and tells her to let them visit Jamie. Soon after, they meet Jamie arranging the books in the guild's library, and Jamie uses the chance to thank Yuka for getting her a job at the guild. Yuka smiles in response and tells her that Silk would love for her to stop at their base on her way home. The three then walk home together, and as they walk in the snowy weather, UK reminisces on the times he and Simon used to play in the snow when they were friends. Getting to Clover's house, UK acts like a gentleman and tells the ladies to go in first. Though they feel it is unlike him, they comply only for them to walk into a surprise celebration welcoming them as new members of Clover. UK enters soon after to talk about how relieved he is that they did not figure it out, and Nana figures the letter she delivered for UK was to get her outside so the others can prepare. Excited, Nene thanks the ladies before following them to the dining room while Jamie stays rooted in her spot because she feels undeserving of the role. Silk assures her that it is fine, reminding her of the time she saved them, and the other ladies join Silk in cheering Jamie up. Jamie thanks them for being generous, and they all hug her while UK stares at them in relief. After the party, UK escorts Jamie home since it is already late, and they use the chance to reminisce on the days UK freshly joined Thunder Pike and always acted like a novice with no sense of direction. However, UK feels bad that he destroyed Thunder Pike, but Jamie assures him that it was inevitable since they treated him badly most of the time. UK is relieved to hear her say that, and he holds her hand softly, but Jamie just accuses him of trying to get in her skirt. They then burst into laughter at how ridiculous she sounds. A few hours later, UK returns home to see Rain washing the dishes, so he decides to help her out. While at it, Rain suddenly chuckles because she feels they look like newlyweds, thereby catching Rain completely off guard. 1 month later, UK visits Mammer at the guild for Clover's new quest since their suspension is over, so Mammer tells him codedly that a new dungeon has just been discovered. Hearing this surprises him because it's been a long time since a new dungeon has been discovered, so he asks for its location, and he learns that it is near the trading city of Duna. He then wonders if Clover should investigate it since he feels it will generate a lot of buzz for their livestream, only for Mamar to tell him that the kingdom would also love for them to check it out. When he returns home, he speaks with Silk about the new quest, and she replies that they will do whatever he decides since he is their leader. The following day, Clover heads out to the city of Duna for their next quest. When they get to Duna's Adventurers Guild, UK instructs the other ladies to chill at the city's pub, while Silk follows him to meet with the guild master. After that, UK and Silk meet with Manila, the guild master whose nose is capable of blocking the sun. They update her on the reason for their visit to the city, and she instructs them to submit whatever they find from their search for proper documentation. Silk lets her know that they will rest for 3 days before entering the dungeon, and Manuela commends their good choice, adding that she can see why they are Benwood's favorites. Seeing Yuka's confusion, Manuela explains that Benwood is her day one pal and that she is also friends with his favorite uncle, leaving Yuka surprised. She then hands them a map of the city so they won't get lost, and they thank her for her generosity. After the meeting, UK and Silk head to the pub to catch up with the others. Getting there, they find the others arguing with strange dudes from a foreign land named Salmataria. UK quickly intervenes, and Nene explains that the dudes tried to force them to pour drinks for them. UK then tries to tell the dudes in their language to leave the ladies alone, but what he says stuns the dudes and Rain, who also understood their language, because it implies he smashes them every night. The dudes leave them alone, but the ladies wish the argument would continue so they could send them on a one-way trip to the afterlife. A few hours later, they all head to the inn they will be staying at, and UK explains to the ladies that those dudes actually see women as property because it's their culture. Confused, the ladies ask why they backed out without a fight then, and he replies that it is because the dudes probably think they are his property. Getting to the inn, Fina, the innkeeper, warmly welcomes them, adding that she is actually a fan of their work. Impressed, the others also thank her for having them, and they talk about how calming the environment is. The following day, UK and Silk hold a meeting with the ladies on how to plan their entry into the new dungeon. Silk explains that the only information they have is the dungeon's first floor, which is an underground waterway, but they must be on alert because they may encounter monsters on the way. She also adds that other parties will be investigating the dungeon, so it's going to be a battle of who can reach the top floor of the dungeon first. Yuki then shows them the picture of the two parties they are expected to compete with and tells them to treat the mission as a fun challenge instead of a competition. The following morning, they meet with Manuela at the lake close to the dungeon for more information, and Manuela tells them that she and scholars from the Royal Academy will be watching them as they embark on the mission. She then lets them know that if they do a good job, they will get to name the dungeon, and hearing this boosts their morale. When they get to the entrance of the dungeon, Kamrat starts recording, and they all say hello to the people of the kingdom, explaining what their next mission is all about. Getting inside the dungeon, they walk through the stairs while Manuela and scholars from the Royal Academy watch them through the live stream. They soon notice a strange chain, so Yuki charges the ladies with his spells and they rush to attack the chain. While at it, Yuki and Rain notice the chain has a strong resistance, so Yuki casts multiple spells on the chain to weaken it, thereby giving Marina the chance to slice it into two. After the fight, Yuki asks Rain and Silk if they know why an ordinary chain was acting like an angry gladiator, and they reply that they feel like it must have been possessed by something. So they pick up the chain's remains to show to the Royal Academy for more clues. While at it, Yuka notices a ring among the remains, so they also add it to the collection. After that, Nene offers to go survey the area, and as she leaves, Yuki worries that they may still encounter stronger monsters on the way, since dealing with the chain was hard. Marina also adds that she felt the chain was a human while she was fighting it, so Yuka concludes some kind of demonic possession may be at play there. Just then, Nene returns to tell them she found the chain's nest. Getting to the nest, Yuki comments that the room looks more like a bachelor's pad than a monster's nest. They then find a journal with strange writings, so they hope to learn more about it when they return. On the way out, Yuki suddenly feels a strange sensation that reminds him of Simon, thereby causing the others to worry for him. He quickly regains himself and suggests they take a break. Rain then uses clothes to cover him as he rests and assures him that she can lean on him for support if he needs one. Shortly after, Yuki wakes up from a nap, and he explains to his worried friends that the light in the dungeon reminded him of the color of the sky when he fought Simon, and he got traumatized from it. Immediately, the ladies hug him and tell him to always open up to them whenever he is going through something. He apologizes for making them worry and promises to do better in the future. They then continue walking until they find themselves in an abandoned city with buildings that look like they have a high credit score. Yuki instructs them to return so they can discuss it with Manuela and the scholars, only for them to hear a strange voice, causing them to prepare for combat. Just then, an old man named Loga makes his presence known and introduces the strange city to them as Gladsham. Confused, Marina asks if he is the only one living in the city, but he replies that the king and the city's people are all around. Yuki wonders why they can't see them, but Loga refuses to give them more information and disappears. As they turn to get out of Gladsham, Marina calls their attention to a wounded lady. The following day, Yuki is surprised to find out from Manuela and the scholars that Loga did not appear on the livestream. After he meets with Manuela, Yuki returns to meet the others only to learn that Rain has received a letter from her grandfather stating that she must marry the second prince of Salmateria in exchange for a political alliance. Annoyed, the ladies cannot believe her grandfather suddenly found her useful after previously discarding her for being illegitimate. Marina innocently asks if they can ignore the letter since it does not even have Rain's name on it, so Yuki suggests that they do that. With that, they burn the letter, and Rain hugs Yuki for saving her head. Yuki then asks Nene to get more information on the prince, and she complies. Shortly after, Yuki asks Rain if he would love to marry her. Though the question catches Rain by surprise, Yuki continues to explain how it is going to be temporary, and he is just doing it because he does not want any Salmatarian to claim ownership of her. Flushed, Rain accepts his proposal, and they hug each other. The following morning, Manuela tells Yuki that his marriage with Rain has been approved and teases him if he does not have any hidden agenda behind it, thereby catching innocent Yuki off guard. Shortly after, Yuki and the ladies return to Gladsham to continue their investigation. Getting there, they find one-eyed monsters attached to the walls at the entrance. Nene ignores the monsters to go survey the city, but the monsters freeze her in place and almost turn her into lunch, but Yuki saves her. Immediately, the other ladies rush to check on her while Nene continues to stare in shock at how close she almost got sent to the Lord. Yuki instructs the ladies to get their gears ready so they can put an end to the monsters, and they comply. They then attack the monster in an intense fight that goes on for minutes until Marina slices through them. After the fight, Yuki finds another ring and keeps it before noticing Marina acting odd. He goes to check on her, but she tells him to give her time to sort herself out. Shortly after, they settle for lunch, and Marina uses the chance to come clean about how she felt the monsters she sliced earlier were humans. Silk also adds that she feels the dungeon is strange because it also reminds her of the open field where they met Persephone. The others then drop their 2 cents on how they also feel the dungeon is strange. Worried, Silk asks Yuki for the way forward, and Yuki tells them to check out the whole city from the rooftop. Getting to the rooftop, they find it amazing that a beautiful city like Gladsham is inside a dungeon. After they head out of the dungeon, Yuki wonders if Loge is indeed a hallucination since they can't find him anywhere. Just then, Loge approaches them, and Yuki asks if the monsters they've been encountering were once humans. Loge refuses to give a straightforward answer once again, so Rain asks about the rings they found instead. Loge replies to Rain that she already knows the answer to that and disappears. Confused, they start to wonder what kind of creature Loge is. A few hours later, Yuki attends a meeting with Minella and Bodeman, the Royal Academy's supervisor, on his party's latest findings. While at it, Yuki finds out that the ring they discovered has been appraised, and it has a high probability of belonging to humans. Yuki adds that Marina also felt like she was dealing with humans while slicing the monsters, so Benwood suggests that they put the investigation on hold for the time being to be on the safer side and have the government decide whether the dungeon should be sealed or not. He then instructs Yuki to wait for the time being to see if his party would still be requested to investigate the dungeon again. After the meeting, Nene suddenly stops Yuki to tell him that the injured lady they once saved from the dungeon is acting weird. Immediately, he rushes to their camp and finds the others staring at the lady who is now glowing like she is Angel Gabriel. Noticing his presence, the lady calls his name and introduces herself as Rune, the Golden Priestess. She warns him that his world is on the verge of removing the unwanted things in it, and with her world colliding with his entire world may be destroyed in the process. She also tells them to ask Loge for more information on the matter. Confused, Marina asks why she is helping them, but she just tells Yuki to stop the destruction if he does not want to watch his world crumble like a stale cookie. After that, she collapses into Yuki's arms and stops glowing, thereby leaving the others in shock. Yuki asks Rune if she can remember what just happened, and Rune lets her know that her glowing self was just a fragment of someone residing in her. Yuki pats her head in response and tells the others to let them work towards stopping the destruction of their world. The following week, Yuki meets with Bedibor, the Royal Academy director who got Bodeman's report, and he is concerned about Yuki's claim. Confirming that they indeed have to act fast on the matter, Bedibor offers to give Yuki the hero if he chooses to save the world. Though Yuki is skeptical about accepting the role because he feels it is too much for him to handle, Bedibor encourages him to do it, promising to give him any support he needs, so Yuki decides to talk to his party members about the offer. Getting home, Yuki opens up to Rain, who encourages him to go for it. She also hugs him and promises him that if things turn south, she would never leave his side. A few days later, Yuki and other heroes from selected parties receive information from Bedibor, Minella, and Bodeman on how to work together to seal Gladshim before it destroys their world. After the briefing, Zachard, the hero of one of the other parties, asked why a low-ranked party like Yuki's should be among them. Bedibor replies that Yuki's party successfully investigated achromatic darkness, so they are more capable than he could ever have imagined. Still, Zachard claims achromatic darkness is like Disney World compared to the dungeons his party has investigated. Immediately, Lucent counters Zachard's claim by insisting that achromatic darkness is harder than he thinks. Zachard tries to argue with him, but Morona, another hero, stops them and tells them to focus on the task at hand. After the meeting, Yuki returns to plan with the other ladies on how to go about the Gladshim's investigation. While at it, Rain suggests that they should take Rune along since she used to be an inhabitant of the city, and Yuki decides to go with it since it is rare for Rain to drop suggestions. Moments later, all the parties converge at Gladshim's entrance only to see Loga guarding it. Loga greets Rune, but Rune hides behind Marina because she has no memory of Loga. Yuki then comes forward to talk about how the Golden Priestess told them to give him more information. Instead of coming clean, Logi opens Gladshim's gate for them and tells them to accompany him. Lucent suggests that some of the party members wait behind while the others should follow Loge because he does not trust him. They comply, and a group consisting of Clover, Rune, Lucent, and an old mage named Moria accompanies Loga into the city's royal archive. Loga then tells them that he hopes they find the answers to whatever they are looking for, but Moria claims Loga is avoiding their questions because he does not have the mana to answer them. Yuki asks Moria why he sounds so sure, and Moria replies that he can tell that Logi has a strong mana within him that is preventing him from voicing out what he really wants to say. So he must have hidden whatever he wants to say in the royal archives. Rain then casts a spell to fish out the book containing the answers, and she calls their attention to a book and something strange in the desk drawer. Nene and Marina quickly rush to get them while Silk talks about how she feels the presence of some unusual spirits in the archive. Silk then forms a spell to make contact with them, and a book spirit flies right into her hands. Silk tells Yuki and Rain she will go through the book for clues, so they excuse themselves to go meet Nene and Marina. Getting to them, Nene reveals that she found a key that can open the book Marina found. So they open the book only to see that it is difficult to understand its content. Silk soon joins them to tell them that she is now besties with the book's spirit, and the spirit may actually help their mission. To prove her point, she holds Yuki's hand and the spirit transports them to another dimension where it transforms itself into a dragon. It then tells them that the book Yuki was reading is dangerous, but Yuki pleads with it to help him understand the book. So the spirit transports him to another dimension where the author of the book, who happens to be the king of the city, explains it to him. When UK eventually returns to the others, he explains that the book highlights procedures causing a chain reaction for multiple spells. Moria also explains a book he stumbled upon to them. He tells them the book highlights how Gladsham used to be the capital city for gods in another world until an event destroyed the city, thereby causing the king to come up with a plan to help his people escape. Hearing this, UK points out that the book with him described the process of producing magic that grants wishes, so the king must have been cooking up a way to overcome the event destroying the city at the time. The following day, UK, Rain, and Moria update Bedibor and the others. To get the story straight, Bedibor confirms that the dungeon is a city from another world known as Gladsham, and the king was trying to save the city and its people by creating a magic that can transport them to another world. However, the people eventually disappeared, so strange monsters took over the town instead. UK quickly corrects that the monsters are actually the people of Gladsham, but this only confuses Bedibor, so UK shows them one of the rings he got from the monster, and Rain casts a spell that converts the ring to a projector that helps Bedibor and the others see the city of Gladsham. Seeing this, Bedibor asks if the usefulness of the ring is to display images, but UK replies that the ring actually displays information about the people of Gladsham. Moria adds that their findings show that the king converted the people into monsters because he thought it would make it easier for them to cross to another dimension. He also tells Bedibor that the king possessed a particular gold. Yuka adds that he learnt that the gold granted the king's wish and created the rings that the king eventually gave his people with the hope that it would help them cross to another world. However, the magic's process was imperfect, so the people turned into monsters instead, while Gladsham appeared in their world as a dungeon. Bedibor asks if it's okay for them to leave Gladsham as it is, but UK replies that they need to destroy it because the Golden Priestess warned that it may destroy their world. Hearing this, Bedibor gives UK the approval to destroy the dungeon. After the meeting, UK and Rain return to their inn, only for them to be stopped by Bran, Rain's uncle, who wants to forcefully take Rain because he wants her to marry the second prince of Salmuteria. UK quickly casts a spell to stop Bran's guards from taking Rain, and this leaves Bran annoyed, so he vows to do everything within his power to get Rain because their family has promised her to the prince. UK replies that no concrete evidence proves that Rain is from their family since they've always considered her illegitimate, so if the family wishes to ally with the prince, they should come up with a plan that does not involve Rain. Still, Bran ignores UK and tries to persuade Rain, but Rain casts a spell that turns Bran's almost bald hair into an airport runway. Scared of losing the rest of his hair, Bran leaves them alone. After Bran's departure, Rain thanks UK for siding with her, and UK replies that he is just helping out a friend. Shortly after, Bran arrives at the prince's residence to ask for more time in convincing Rain to marry him. Mastema, the prince in question, grants Bran's request but adds that he must get all the ladies Bran hangs out with because he feels they can satisfy him in his other room. Bran initially refuses the offer, but when Mastema promises to pay him 5 times his designated amount, he quickly accepts the offer. In the meantime, UK briefs the ladies that the only way to destroy Gladsham is to take out the gold in the deepest part of the city, and the ladies assure him that they are up to the task. A few days later, Maniela suddenly alerts UK and the ladies that Zakhard's party forcefully took Rune to Gladsham, so they decide to confront Zakhard for the reason behind the stunt. Shortly after, everyone gathers in front of the dungeon. UK tells Maniela that they will be going for the gold after they get Rune from Zakhard's party, so Maniela tells them to be careful about it. The other parties also assure UK that they will have them as backup if things go south, and with that assurance, they head into Gladsham. Getting inside, they come across the one-eyed monsters, so Marona tells the others to leave the monsters to her party and continue with the mission. The others comply and continue to run until they encounter monsters dressed as soldiers. Lucent tells UK's party to continue while he stays with his party to take on the monsters. UK thanks him, and when his party distracts the monsters, UK's party rushes to the king's castle. Inside the castle, Nene detects with her cat skills that Rune was taken into the king's royal chamber. They then walk towards the chamber, only for Loge to suddenly appear in front of them. UK lets Loge know he found out he is the king's son after doing his research in the archive. He also adds that he knows Rune is also related to the king, and Loge confirms that Rune is actually the key to ending the magic tied to Gladsham before disappearing. Soon after, they arrive at the entrance of the king's chamber, and Silk calls on the book spirit to help them survey if it is safe to go inside. Meanwhile, Zakhard and his party are celebrating the jewelry they found in the chamber, so when Yuka's party suddenly interrupts them to ask for Rune, Zakhard stares at him in annoyance. Marina quickly points Yuka's attention to who is sitting on the throne, and they are shocked to see that it is the king in his zombie form with Rune lying down beside him. Immediately, they rush to save Rune, but Zakhard's party blocks them from reaching her. Zakhard then brags that his party already conquered the dungeon because they handed Rune to the king. Hearing this leaves UK furious that Zakhard is treating the mission like a competition, but Zakhard remains unfazed and tells UK to channel his anger into taking care of his baddies. Silk tries to talk sense into Zakhard, but Zakhard angrily tells her to shut her mouth because he believes they are trying to take Duna from them by acting almighty. The ladies then shade Zachard for being jealous of their aura, and this only makes Zachard see red, so he tells the king to give his party power to attack them. The king raises his staff in response, and the gold over his throne brightens, thereby leaving UK completely stunned. The gold empowers Zachard's party by handing them rings, and Zachard instructs his party members to attack them. His members comply, but the ladies defend themselves by attacking his members instead. Seeing how powerful the ladies are surprises Zachard, and Marina tells him that he is seeing the blessing they received from UK in action. She then slices his sword in a flash, causing him to run for his life. On the way, he suddenly morphs into a horrifying beast with a face only his mother could love, thereby giving UK the confirmation that the ring indeed transformed the people into monsters. Immediately, UK calls the ladies to gather around him for safety purposes, and they comply. He then charges them up, and they begin to fight the whole of Zachard's party that have now transformed into monsters. During the process, Lucent joins them, and Nene quickly briefs him on what went down. While at it, the rest of Lucent's party and Marina's party arrive, and they join in the fight. UK's party then uses the chance to go save Rune, but the king blocks them. UK quickly casts multiple spells to weaken the king, thereby giving Marina the chance to slice the king, only for the king to block the attempt. This causes UK's facial mark to bleed, and he figures it must be because he used Persephone's power to make his spell stronger. Marina continues to attack the king until she hears Silk tell her to dodge, so she does, and the king becomes engulfed in flames from Silk's spell. Still, the king remains unaffected, so Nene distracts the king, thereby creating a chance for Marina to slice through him. Rain then casts a spell to end the king for good, and when she finishes reciting the spell, the king erupts into flames. However, the flames try to reach UK and the others, so UK quickly casts a water spell to protect them. After the fire reduces, they see that the king has been reduced to ashes, and a ring is left behind. UK refreshes Rain's mana to help her regain the mana she lost when she cast the spell and tells Marina to watch over her while he goes to destroy the gold. However, Rune calls his attention to the king's remains that are slowly reviving themselves, so he quickly summons Persephone's power to break the ring on it. After that, Rune tells UK that she will help him with the destruction of the gold since she is the Golden Priestess, so even if she touches the gold, she won't get hurt. UK agrees, but the ladies try to talk him out of it since he does not possess Rune's attributes. A worried Rain turns to Rune to join them in pleading with UK, only for Rune to tell her that she thinks Rune is special. Rain then looks at him and hugs him for good luck. Yuka pats her head in response, promising not to get hurt, only for Marina and Silk to join the hug. Feeling left out, Nene tells Yuka that she will wait for him to return so they can spend a day alone together. UK nods his head in response, only for the other parties to interrupt their bonding time to let them know they are leaving, since they have finished their fight with Zachard's party. After they leave, UK and Rain walk towards the gold, and they find Loge sitting on the throne of his father. However, Loga assures them that he is not a fighter like his father and explains that the gold they are seeing has existed since ancient times until it eventually ended up in the king's hands. UK and Rain then work together to destroy the gold. During the process, UK suddenly remembered how he turned Simon into an amoeba, and he figures that since Simon is immortal, he must have transcended time to become the gold. Relieved that the destruction of the gold will lead to Simon's eventual death, he casts his last spell, causing the gold to crack until it disappears. Immediately, Gladshim returns to its original form just as Loga bids UK and Rune farewell as he returns to the afterlife. After Loge's departure, UK tells Rune to accompany him, and she gladly follows him since she is now homeless. A few hours later, UK and Rune return to the inn, only for Silk and Marina to hug UK like he just returned from the First World War. Confused, UK thanks them for their warm response and asks why they are acting like he is a recovered lost pet, only for him to learn that he has been gone for 2 weeks. This surprises him because he thought they spent half a day in Gladshim, and he wonders if that is how Simon could cross thousands of years to become a golden Gladshim. He then apologizes for making them worry, only to realize he can't find Nene and Rain among them. Marina quickly offers to take Rune into the inn, and Silk tells UK that Rain has been gone for 2 days. She then hands him a letter from Rain, and he reads that Rain actually went to look for him. Silk also lets him know that someone from Rain's family delivered the letter and tells them to visit Rain at Mastoma's mansion if they wish to see her. UK promises that he will bring Rain back, so she tells him to be careful and also lets him know that Nene has gone to scout the area. Shortly after, Rain meets with Nene at the entrance of Mastoma's mansion, and when they try attacking the guards at its entrance so they can gain free entry, the guards let them know that they've been expecting Yuka, which leaves them surprised. Yuka then enters the mansion and meets with Mastoma, who asks for his mission. UK explains that he is there to get Rain, but this just makes Mastoma accuse him of disrespecting him since he believes Rain is now his property. Just then, Rain walks in, and UK is surprised to see her dressed as if she time-traveled to the days of Pharaoh. Rain hugs him because she has missed him, while Mastoma tells them that Rain is free to go since she won their bet. Seeing UK's confusion, Mastoma explains that they made a bet that if UK ends up dead, she is going to marry him. UK accuses Rain of doing something so crazy, but Rain replies that she is sure he would be okay. Mastura also adds that since they are married, he can't forcefully take her since she is UK's property. Just then, Bran walks in to demand his payment, but Mastema accuses him of deceiving him by not telling him that Rain is UK's property and promises to punish him for humiliating him. Immediately, Bran falls to his knees in defeat, and Mastema orders his guards to turn him into chopped meat. After the guards take Bran away, Mastema apologizes for the trouble caused, but Yuka tells him that he is grateful that he ensured Rain's safety. Mastema then uses the chance to talk about a dungeon and his kindness he would love to conquer because the battle to become the next king of Salmateria has gotten so intense that he must visibly demonstrate his skills to boost his chances. He then asks Yuka to help him because there are no true adventurers in his country. To get UK interested, he explains that the main reason he wanted to marry Rain is to use her help in conquering the dungeon since she's an adventurer. On the way back home after the meeting, Rain suggests that they give Mastoma a chance because he looks nice compared to the other Salmutarians they've encountered, and he decides to give it a try. The following week, UK and Silk submit an official report on Gladsham to Bedibor and the others. Bedibor thanks him for his tremendous work and lets him know that the king has recognized his party, which catches him completely off guard. UK then brings up his conversation with Mastoma, and Bedibor assures him that they will do everything in their power to help him. UK thanks him in response and quickly adds that he would love to make Rune a member of his party. Bedibor gives him approval and tells him to stop by at the academy whenever he wants before addressing him as a hero, which leaves UK grateful. On the way back to the inn, Silk reminds UK that he still owes Nene a request that they spend a day together, so he must fulfill his promise. When they eventually get to the inn, UK tells Nene that they will spend time together the following day, thereby causing Nene to meow in excitement. The following day, UK and Nene hang out in a pub, and it makes UK remember that the last time he drank that much was when he was still in Thunder Pike. After the drinks, Nene drags UK to the city's mall where they do window shopping till the end of the day. The following morning, UK and the ladies leave Duna to return to their kingdom. When they eventually get to their kingdom, Rune stares in excitement at how beautiful everything looks, and the people of the kingdom also warmly welcome them back since they now see them as celebrities. Though they are surprised, they wave back to them and express their joy over how they now see them as the next big thing. Shortly after, Yuki stops at the guild while the others continue the journey to their base. Inside the guild, UK gives Benwood the whole gist of what went down, and Benwood promises to deposit a huge amount in Clover's account as a reward for their work. UK thanks him, only for Jamie, who is still on suspension, to barge in and welcome him. Benwood then paints a vivid description about how Jamie always complained about missing him, but a flushed Jamie cautions Benwood to stop spilling. Still, UK thanks her for worrying about him, but she is too proud to acknowledge his gratitude, thereby causing Benwood to laugh at how cute she's acting. The following week, Benwood and a strange guy suddenly visit UK in his apartment. When he invites them in, he realizes that the strange guy is actually Vincent, the king of his kingdom, thereby leaving him completely stunned. UK quickly bows before him, but Vincent tells him to just see him as a friend of Benwood since he is undercover. Though UK refuses at first, Benwood tells him that Vincent is actually his uncle's close pal, so he loosens up. They then settle for a meeting only for Silk to walk in to serve them tea and becomes shocked when she sees Vincent. Vincent tells her not to fret and to join their meeting, so she complies. Vincent then tells them about how he heard of their plan to help Mastoma with his mission and gives them official approval to help him. UK thanks Vincent, and Vincent hands him an insignia as a reward for his previous achievements. Seeing UK stare at the insignia in amusement, Benwood confirms that Vincent has given him the greatest honor of an adventurer, which is the Dungeon Count. Immediately, Silk congratulates UK, but he attempts to reject it because he feels it is too much. However, Vincent lets him know the Royal Parliament has already approved it, so he has no choice but to accept it. Vincent then moves on to more serious business by talking about how collaborating with Mastoma will strengthen the alliance his kingdom has with the Salmutarians. On that note, he hands a shocked UK the King's Order, which is the greatest honor adventurers can ask for, to embark on the mission. Before signing it, he requests more insignias, and Vincent promises to get him that so he signs the order. 2 days later, UK and the ladies proudly stare at the airship that will be taking them to Salmateria. As they marvel at how honorable it is to board the scarce airship, Silk does not share their sentiment because she has a fear of heights. Benwood and Mamer soon join them, and Benwood lets UK know he will be following them. Mamer hands UK the insignias he requested, so UK shares them with the ladies, lying that he wanted them to have something matching to show that they are a team. When Jamie receives her own, she feels skeptical about it since she is still on suspension, so Benwood lets her know that Vincent has lifted her suspension. Immediately, the ladies congratulate her, and she promises to give the mission her all. With that, they board the airship, but Silk holds on to UK as if her life depended on it. A few hours later, UK comes clean to the girls and tells them that the insignias he gave them actually signify that they are his property, since he is now a dungeon count. He adds that he only did it because Salmateria is a male-dominated society and he wants to keep them out of harm's way, so they should not be mad at him. The ladies assure him that they don't mind and ask what they should call him since he is now their husband. Hearing this shocks his virgin brain, and he quickly tells them to stick to calling him his name. A few days later, the airship drops them at Salmateria's border only for them to be blocked by bandits who belong in a boxing ring. UK tells Benwood that someone must have snitched about their coming, so Benwood gives them the approval to attack the bandits. After the fight, they meet with Mastoma, who apologizes to UK for arriving late and welcomes them to Salmateria. He then tells Mastura that the captured bandits are probably working for his elder brother, who is also competing for the throne. A few hours later, they all arrive at the town that is under Mastoma's jurisdiction, and Rune praises Mastoma for how beautiful the town looks, thereby causing him to laugh in response. Shortly after, Mastoma shows them the mansion they will be staying in for the duration of their stay, and they marvel at how beautiful it looks. 2 weeks later, Mastoma holds a meeting with them on how he believes the dungeon is located in an area called Death Valley. After the meeting, UK and the rest of the ladies survey the valley to look for the dungeon's entrance. During the process, Silk tells them that she can sense a spirit that is behaving strangely in the area. Hearing this leaves UK disturbed, so he tells the others to proceed with caution. He also suggests that they camp out so they can spend their time with the investigation. A few hours later, they settle down to come up with a plan on how to find out what is going on in the area. While at it, a strange breeze suddenly distracts them, so UK instructs Nene to check their surroundings. Nene complies and returns to tell them that an army of monsters is approaching them. Immediately, Yuka checks with everyone to see if they are ready to fight if things go south before charging them up with his spell. After that, they start running for their life, and while at it, they take out the monsters they find in their path. The following morning, Yuka briefs Mastoma on what went down, and Mastoma asks what the way forward can be. Benwood suggests that they select multiple adventuring parties to investigate why the monsters are approaching the town. Since there is no party of such in Salmateria, Mastoma asks Benwood if he can send adventurers from their kingdom. Benwood replies that if he provides the cost for transportation, he can work on it, so Mastoma offers to provide it and pleads with UK to do anything within their power to protect his kingdom. So UK promises to give it his all. The following day, they settle for another meeting where Benwood updates them that it will take a month for the adventurers to arrive because of the necessary paperwork. UK worries that it will only slow down their mission. Mastoma also tells them that he has made preparations to gather the soldiers, knights, and hunters in the country for the mission, but he feels his brother is interfering with it. Benwood sighs and suggests that they make use of the limited forces they have for the meantime. After the meeting, UK returns home to update the ladies, and Silk tells Rune to explain what she told them before Yuka's arrival. Rune then explains that the feeling she got from the valley they surveyed was that it felt like the area was getting closer to its true form. Yuka wonders what could be the cause and suspects that the golden gladshim was responsible for the effect. He then asks the others what they feel about what Rune said, but they just reply that they will go with his intuition because they trust him. So the following morning, UK tells Benwood that his party would love to investigate the valley, and they all explain how they will go about it, so Benwood gives them the approval. Shortly after, they return to the valley and wait for the monsters to show up again. While at it, the ladies notice that UK is feeling sick, so Rain tells him to take short breaths so he can feel better. After he is done, he tells Rain he is okay, only for Nene to interrupt them to tell them they have an emergency. Immediately, UK charges them, and they follow Nene to the top of a cliff where she shows them that a strange black wall covers the royal museum. Suddenly, UK feels like he has seen something like it before, but he tells them to return anyway to be on the safer side, so they comply. When they get to town to tell Mastoma what they saw, they learn that Mastoma is in an intense meeting with his brother, who wants to seize his town. Yuka quickly walks in on their meeting, and he sees Rafuma, Mastoma's brother, angrily staring at him like he stole his fiancée. Still, Yuka introduces himself to him and apologizes for interrupting their meeting. He then explains what he found to Mastoma, thereby leaving the brothers surprised. Worried, Rafuma asks UK if he knows what the black wall means, and he guesses that the wall may be the dungeon they are looking for. However, Rune turns up in a glowing form to explain that the black wall is actually their world's outer sea because every world is like a bubble floating in a sea of darkness. To confirm her point, Mastoma asks if she means the sea of darkness is overflowing into their world, but Rune replies that their world is probably inverted, thereby leaving it exposed, and if care is not taken, the world may sink to that effect. Rafuma expresses that they are all talking loads of crap, but Mastoma just barks that he should excuse them. Annoyed, Rafuma takes his leave just in time for Benwood to come in to report that he has been getting reports of the black wall appearing at different parts of their world. Benwood then explains that the last time they experienced something like that, his party at the time sealed it in the abyss gate of the achromatic darkness. Rune points out that all dungeons are connected to the achromatic darkness, so UK connects the dots and tells Benwood that the abyss gate they sealed is open, which is why the black walls are emerging again. He then suggests that they rush back to their kingdom so that they can seal the abyss gate at once. Benwood lets Yuka know it is actually hard to seal the abyss gate, and his team even tried to destroy the gate but settled to seal it when they saw it wouldn't break. However, he offers to tell Vincent to send them the airship so they can return, so UK tells him to let Vincent send some A-ranked adventurer to investigate the achromatic darkness for the time being. Mastoma asks how long it will take for the airship to arrive, and when Benwood replies that it will take 2 weeks, Yuki insists that they look for other means because it will be too late. Immediately, Benwood orders UK to rest because he has not done that for a while, and Rune also appeases UK to take Benwood's advice. Yuka sighs in response and tells Rune that they should take their leave. A few hours later, Yuka rests in his chambers, but his mind keeps replaying what Rune said about achromatic darkness. Suddenly, he comes up with a plan and rushes to Mastoma's residence to tell him about it, thereby waking Rain in the process. Getting there, he tells Mastoma that he will go through the black wall to get to achromatic darkness, since the dungeons are all connected. Though Mastoma shades him for never resting, he gives him the approval to access the wall, promising to hand him a seeker's compass that can guide his path. Unfortunately, Rain traces UK to Mastoma's residence and overhears their discussion. Though she is angry at UK for acting alone, she thanks Mastoma for helping him. On the way back home, Yuka tries to apologize to Rain, but she ignores him, so he hugs her from behind. This causes Rain to warm up to him, and they share a kiss that unknowingly lets Persephone's curse on UK transfer to Rain. After the kiss, they return home to tell the others the latest update. The ladies volunteer to follow him on the mission, and even though he tries to talk them out of it, they refuse to listen to him because they are determined to protect him. Silk then volunteers to come up with a plan, and UK gives him the go-ahead, relieved that the ladies really care about him. Shortly after, UK learns that Mastoma has requested his presence, so he returns to Mastoma's residence, where he learns that Rafuma has gone on a solo quest into the Royal Museum. Benwood then shows them a video of Rafuma running away from some monsters, so UK asks what to do. Mastoma worries that if the monsters turn Rafuma into lunch, it may make them crave humans more, so UK suggests they make a quick move to stop the monsters. They soon see a video of Rafuma crashing into the black wall and turning into a monster immediately. Seeing this makes UK doubt taking the ladies with him, only for Saga, his uncle, to walk in, thereby leaving him completely stunned. Saga praises UK for turning into a great adventurer while Benwood cusses him out for always disappearing like Avatar Aang whenever they need him the most. Saga tells his old pal to stop acting like a grandpa since he is now back with them and ready to stop the black wall. A few hours later, Saga catches up with Yuka over tea and asks if he is smashing any of the baddies in his party. UK tells him to mind his business, so he tells him about how he notices a strange aura in him. Yuka wonders if it is because of Persephone's mark, and Saga confirms that the mark is proof that his identity is in different worlds and it is capable of preventing him from danger. Saga also adds that he noticed it in Rain, and Yuka figures that he must have transferred it to her when they shared a kiss. With that, they return to tell the other ladies that receiving Persephone's curse will protect them, so they agree to receive it too. On the day of the mission, Saga confirms that UK has given the ladies Persephone's curse, so he tells UK that he and Benwood will return to their kingdom to enter the achromatic darkness, so UK assures him that he will do his best too. After UK leaves, Mastoma hands Rain the compass he promised Rune and wishes them luck. Shortly after, they arrive at the entrance of the Black Wall, and UK gets a flashback of the time Rafuma turned into a monster. Rain tells him not to fret because Persephone's curse will protect them. Feeling relaxed, UK charges them with his spell, and they hold hands to enter through the Black Wall together. Inside, Rain checks the compass to find the location of the Abyss Gate, and when she gets it, she leads them in the direction. As they continue to walk, they suddenly find themselves in an open field, and UK wonders if this is how the valley will look in the past or how it will look in the future. Nene offers to scout the area while UK carries Rain so she can use her telescopic eyes to look around. After she is done, Rain confirms that there is no sign of enemies, only for Nene to return and tell them that she found shadow stalkers protecting the Royal Museum. UK quickly tells them to rush there because the museum is their ticket to reaching achromatic darkness. On the way, UK offers to use himself as bait for the shadow stalkers so that the ladies can easily enter the Royal Museum. So when he gets to the monsters, he casts a spell to attract the monsters to him, thereby giving the chance to escape into the museum. When the monsters finally get to UK, they realize that UK only used illusion magic while UK rushes to join the others in the museum. UK and the ladies continue their journey until they reach their kingdom's adventurers guild. Rain confirms with the compass that the Abyss Gate is definitely under the guild, so they walk into the guild. Inside, Mamar welcomes them, but UK doesn't trust whether it's the real Mamar or a fake one. Disappointed that UK can't recognize her, Mamar shows him the fake Mamar she took out. Seeing this, UK confirms if she is with Saga and Benwood, so she offers to take them to meet with Saga and Benwood. Getting to them, they see Benwood and Maniela fighting off some shadow stalkers, which catches them off guard. Mid-fight, Maniela explains that Saga told her to join them to help them fight the monsters. Just then, Moria appears and tells them that Saga also requested his presence since he is a former hero. Seeing him leaves Benwood and Maniela relieved because they know he is good. Moria tells Yuka's party to go on while they fight the monsters, and they comply. Yuka's party then continues their journey to finding the Abyss Gate, destroying every monster they find on their way in the process. However, they reach a part where UK and Rain suddenly disappear, thereby leaving the other ladies worried. Silk tells them to continue the journey because her book spirit assures her that they will find them again. Meanwhile, UK suddenly finds himself and his younger self talking to his mother. Scared, he quickly grabs his mother to a place they can hide, but the black wall catches up with his mother, and when she grabs him to join her, he screams out in fear, thereby attracting Rain, who tells him to come back to his senses. Thanks to that, they find themselves in another dimension, and he thanks Rain for saving him. Rain replies that she is just glad he is safe. They then try to retrace their steps back to the others. When they eventually get to them, Ma Rina hugs UK deeply because she was really worried. Saga also welcomes him, and he explains how Rain saved him. Hearing this, Saga figures Achromatic Darkness wants to get rid of UK because it considers him a threat, and he shows UK the Abyss Gate from afar. Impressed, UK tells everyone to brace themselves, and they all march towards the gate. Getting closer to the gate, Saga explains that he was part of Benwood's party that initially sealed it. He then moves closer to remove the seal and tells UK that he once saved him from the Black Wall when he was younger. Since UK is a survivor of the Black Wall, he lets UK know that he is the only one who can destroy it. When the gate reveals itself, the others are surprised to see that the gate is actually a dragon. They then charge themselves up with their spells, preparing to attack, only for the dragon to produce giant termites that can devour the world. Refusing to back down, the ladies attack the termites in full force. While at it, Silk gets violently hit, so Rain rushes to heal her. UK then casts a high-grade spell to put an end to the dragon, but the dragon retaliates by releasing dark magic. Saga quickly blocks the impact, thereby giving UK the chance to cast a spell from Persephone's curse and use it to destroy the dragon. The impact causes the dragon to transform into a gate, and they go to check on Saga, who is badly bruised from stopping the dragon's spell. Saga praises UK for doing a good job before dying, thereby causing everyone to feel heartbroken. Shortly after, they stare at the Abyss Gate. UK thanks the ladies for helping him achieve his dream at last, and the ladies hug him in response. After that, he explains that the Abyss Gate can only be closed by someone on the other side of it, thereby leaving the ladies worried. He then announces that he will be using the scroll of exit to send them to the surface while he stays behind to close the gate. All efforts from the ladies to talk him out of it fail because Saga told him that was the only way to stop the gate. They then pressure him to take them with him, so he opens the scroll to send them to the surface forcefully. Immediately, UK and the ladies appear in their kingdom, leaving them confused. They soon locate their livestream and see that Rune chose to stay behind and sacrifice herself. A disappointed UK talks about how it should have been him instead, but Rune tells them that she loves them and wishes them the best in all their endeavors. Seeing her makes them cry because they will miss her, so she tries to cheer them up by stating that she may be reborn sooner than they expect. With that, she happily waves at them and closes the gate. They continue to cry their eyes out while the people of the kingdom sadly watch them. Rain soon encourages them to think positively since Rune decided to save them. They should respect her decision. The following week, Vincent celebrates UK's party for their tremendous effort, after which they lay Saga's body to rest. 1 month later, UK and Rain go on a vacation, and she kisses him because she is very happy. If you watched this anime recap and made it to the end, let us know in the comments if you would survive a week of UK being the leader of your party, or if you tap out on day 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more recaps like this.